2 Hawk drones. Today is the 19th. Illegal surveillance right at 11 Ellsworth. There they are. Wow. Welcome back, guys. It's Eric from the Ancient of Days YouTube channel. However, today we are on BitChute because I currently have 2 guideline strikes on my primary Ancient of Days YouTube channel. One expires on the 18th of April. Today is the 6th of April 2022. So I have 2 more weeks and then we're down to 1 guideline strike. That's why, because we're riding the fence here on the guidelines, I want to be extra careful. So please subscribe to the links in the box, which include my backup channel as well as BitChute. Now, on my previous video right here, the Illuminati humiliation ritual, mosquito drone dissected, well, most people should be aware that they had mosquito drones going all the way back to the 70s for organized crime when they were doing investigations and surveillance of the organized crime mafias. Alright, so let's take a look here because this stood out to me when I showed the mosquito drone. Okay, right here I wrote on March the 21st, mosquito drone, creepy and straight up gross. I wonder if the 2 billion genetically modified mosquitoes are actually either syringes or drones for surveillance. Maybe even both. Time will tell. Okay, I captured this with my microcam and microphone bug sweeper. Nasty technology, truly it is. So that's what I showed in my most recent vid on my Ancient of Days YouTube channel. So that went back to March the 21st. I was asking if these were going to be used in a manner in which was going to be dangerous to the citizens of the world, because this is a war, my friends, and we have been at war likely since September 11th attacks of 2001, when that was the greatest false flag that we have ever witnessed in our generation. And there's no doubt that was the beginning of the silent war. Alright, silent weapons for a silent war, and this is again would be buzzing weapons for a silent war. Billions of genetically modified engineered mosquitoes are about to be released in the U.S. This was on 3/11, March 11th, 3/11, 33/20/22. So now we move on to where it's coming from. It's coming from Oxitec. Okay, they talk about their technology. Oxitec is part of a biotech firm powered by Oxitec's friendly technology platform. Oxitec is leading developer of biological solutions to control pests that transmit disease, destroy crops, and harm livestock. Well, on the surface, this sounds actually quite friendly. But let's take a look here, okay, because the EPA approves pilot project to release genetically modified mosquitoes into California despite widespread opposition. This was from April the 4th of 2022, just 2 days ago, okay? So it says here that in the center square, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency last month approved an experimental use to permit submitted by the British biotech company to release millions of genetically engineered mosquitoes into California to combat diseases that don't exist there. Well, guys, if they don't exist there, then why are they doing this? There's more to it, I promise you. The British firm Oxitec, which we're going to look into, which is also funded by, guess who? Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, submitted the application last August. The application received 12,691 comments, and the pilot project has received widespread public opposition. Gee, I wonder why. Oxitec claims that releasing the genetically engineered mosquitoes will help combat the mosquito-bred disease of dengue fever, yellow fever, and Zika virus, diseases that don't currently exist in California. Again, diseases that don't currently exist in California. Okay, despite their presence, transmission of these three diseases in California is zero as of March 2nd, 22. There are no cases of dengue in California, the CDC reports. All right. The last major outbreak of yellow fever in the U.S. was in 1905 in New Orleans. The Zika virus doesn't exist in California or anywhere else in the continental U.S. So, I have to ask questions, and it reminds me of this. I actually did a video on this about a year or so ago. Let's look at this. This is Mosquito Week from Bill Gates. Guess, go figure. Let's have a look and a listen here. This is pretty damn creepy if you ask me, and it's not the first one he's done. It goes back several years. Even 4 years ago he was doing Mosquito Week. Let's look. Now, if that isn't a creepy ass video, I wouldn't know what to say is, and that reminds me of David Goldberg. And so everything David Goldberg has said up to even this date today, despite they likely went ahead and altered Project Zypher, not Project Pogo, which is the track tag and ID through the gatekeepers that they use on the various platforms, but through Project Zypher, where they plan to eliminate up to 15 million or more of Americans that stand in the way of the Zionist New World Order agenda and their false Moshiach that will call out what is really happening. So let's listen to David Goldberg, a ghost from the past. Let's listen.
All kinds of other means to eliminate them. Not just the high-value targets are going to be picked up. The lower-value targets will be given viruses, targeted viruses, that activate either right away or over time. They don't want it to be too obvious that all of a sudden a whole bunch of Americans get sick. Of course, there will be official stories in the news media. Okay, there's a flu outbreak, which indicates to me this will probably happen in winter. Not this winter, but possibly the winter of 2020, 2021.
So just let me ask you guys, is the world's deadliest killer here actually just genetically modified mosquitoes to try to lower the population of disease-spreading mosquitoes that don't even exist in this country whatsoever? They admit it themselves. Or are these being used to spread a virus, a targeted virus, to the citizens of the world? Let's carry on from David Goldberg and get a look here because, okay, these are Hawk drones, guys. This was at my property, right over my house when I came home. I currently now have my own vehicle, so my schedule has changed drastically. So I'm going to look to put out at least 1 to 2 videos per week, and I'm going to try to make them count. But because my schedule now is so tied up, the only time I have a chance to work is at night or on rain days. Today is a rainy day, so I have some chance to work. Let's get a look at these Hawk drones that were surveilling me as I came home, because they literally follow me everywhere I go because I have filed an indictment against the U.S. government and the clandestine agencies. Let's watch here for a moment and listen. 2 Hawk drones. Oh, and by the way, if I really wanted to break this down, there were at least 5 to 6 different drones that were flying by at a tremendous pace. I started working on this yesterday, and I was like, you know what, forget it. I have done this on several occasions, and it really didn't spark any interest, so I wasn't going to bring out the other drone technology that's flying all throughout the skies night and day. They are literally flying swarm bot systems all throughout the sky, whether it is for testing and for developing the technology, or just because they are fully surveilling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week across the country and likely across the world. But let's just keep watching the hawk drones for now. Today's the 19th. Illegal surveillance right at 11 Ellsworth. Now a third one's going to come in. See that thing go flying by? Well, there's multiple of them. I slowed it down. They're drones. Just like my friend Sean brought out in one of my previous vids. They're actually drones just whipping all over the place, moving way faster than the human eye. Somebody asked me what cameras I use. I have an HD 24 megapixel, two handhelds, 24 megapixel. I have a 5G camera, handheld at 24.9 megapixels with 5 lenses. And I also have a GoPro Hero 7. Wow. At 60 frames per second. And I also have a P900, a Nikon P900. So those are the cameras that I use. If you're asking about the night vision, those are ADT cams. I'm not sure exactly what they are. Alright, so then when I went up to look at the UAV patents for hawk drones and surveillance technology, okay, it went on forever, and I couldn't find the exact patents that I was looking for, but when I typed in military hawk bird drones, this is what I came up with. Back in 1960s, the CIA bird drone. Back when the U.S. was flying U-2 spy planes over the Soviet Union, and Gary Powers was on Russian TV after being shot down, the CIA got to thinking of another approach for gathering airborne intelligence. Well, Gary Powers getting shot down on Russian TV, that reminds me. Today, coming out from Israeli News Live, apparently an American pilot was captured. Okay, so that's pretty interesting, and it could be all BS for all we know. It could just be to get people on board to get into a conflict. Project Aquiline. All right, what does that even mean? I had to look it up. I didn't even pronounce it right. I guarantee it. Let's listen.
Aquiline.
Oh.
Aquiline.
Okay, so let's get back. Project Aquiline was an early drone project. Again?
Aquiline.
What does it mean? Like an eagle. Project Aquiline, an early drone project aimed at making overflight much less conspicuous because the drone was built to resemble a bird. This goes back to the 1960s from the CIA. How do you think that makes me feel when I see these things flying over my house?
Aquiline.
Right here on 10/21 of 2021, okay, October 21st. Take a look at this here. I put it down to 0.25% so you can see here also again. I mean, these things, I've been recording them since late 2011, early 2012 here in Broadbrook, Connecticut. Let's watch. Okay, you see it? Once I start recording, now look at the size of this one coming. This one right here that I'm circling. Absolutely massive. I will back it up so you see the difference in size. See this one? Barely any higher. Just, maybe 30 feet higher than the tree line. Then this one comes in. That has a massive wingspan. Okay? You could even see, look at it. Look at the wings. It's hollow. That's a drone. Okay? Because I actually did a video on this called, Police State Hawk Drone Surveillance Technology from Popular Mechanics. Okay, from June 10th of 2016. So imagine how far it's come since then. New Air Force drones will perch like hawks, stare and destroy. Killer drones will become more like birds if the U.S. Air Force has anything to say about it. As you can see right here, okay, clearly the Air Force got their way with this humongous hawk drone, surveillance drone, flying right over my trees. Once I start to record, they fly right over. Do you know how huge that is? That has to have a 15-foot wingspan. That's how massive it is. Okay, so I literally by showing everybody this clandestine technology and bringing an indictment against the clandestine agencies and the U.S. government have literally signed my life warrant into the next world. Okay, so the Air Force right here is showing the Air Force wants miniature drones that can perch and wait days or weeks for a target before attacking with an explosive warhead. Prototypes are already flying. Prototypes like this are already flying? Well, of course, they're flying over my property. So, yeah, they're way too cowardly to confront me head on because they know damn well that I'm ready. I'm ready every second of the day for these assholes that have been targeting my family and myself for well over 20 years, but they're too chicken shit to face me head on. Battery power is the biggest limitation for small drones. That's why I said in the mosquito drone video that they're using solar energy. If that went back to the 1960s, so that's like 60 something years ago. So if they were building this in the 1960s, imagine how far this technology has come since then. I mean, absolutely incredible. Consumer quadrators like the DJ Phantom can fly for half an hour or so. Fixed wing craft in the military like the 11B Raven stretched this 90 minutes, but not nearly enough for prolonged surveillance. Well, guess what? This was in 2016 of June. No doubt in roughly 5.5 years, almost 6 years, they have definitely come a long way. Now let's look at the police state NWO The Last Reich Hawk Drone Surveillance Technology Exposed video, because I'm going to show you that explosive warhead right here. Let's listen, okay? Listen. This is real footage of real technology that is being used against us. Now let's have a look and a listen. Well, here it is right here. You could actually see on the front of it, it almost looks like one of those badminton birds, I think they're called. Aren't they called birds? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember. It's been so long since I played. It's got like a clear rounded front right here. You could see how it has like a round front to it. Now, this is in the trees within that video. If you had watched the video, Doomsday and Interdimensionals, and I showed all those nanobots that were flying out of the trees. Well, here it is right here. It looks like it's ready to get into that launch position. But here you can see the front of it. Perhaps that's for the shape charge explosive. I don't know. Okay, so yes, you heard me say perhaps this rounded tip here is being used for the 2 grams of shape charge explosive. Whether this particular drone here, and there are actually 2 overlapping, okay, whether this actually is carrying a charge or not, it's clear to me that that is a shape charge explosive on the tip of this translucent micro drone. Okay, my intuition has been correct 100% ever since I began the Night's Watch investigation. This is from the video Police State NWO The Last Reich. All right, here's the Hawk drone I show here. Here's the pin. Let's increase it in size a little bit. Doesn't stretch well on my blog, but you can see the pin. I didn't make this connection then during the video when I did it back during the investigation, but I could see here, this here is actually like a shaft, and you could see the grooves in it. So this is no doubt the motor. This is no doubt the fisheye lens, because I have captured these that don't have this right here. And look, you could see the straight edges, the hollow center, which is what makes it so light. Okay, and then as I go down, you can see here I'm circling the front tip of this, which is, I have no doubt, a micro drone. They're not nanobots. Nano means under 300 nanometers, making it as small or smaller than a molecule. This is what's called a micro drone. And these are the type of micro drones that they would use to eliminate an enemy target. Because if you look here, they always seem to be traveling in this 3-pattern formation. This was just a random picture I took because I thought I was looking at a cool cloud. So I just snapped a picture, and it was like a 1 in a million shot. I actually captured 3 flying in formation. So let's get a look here at this video, because this shows, and this goes back all the way to 2011, 2012. All right, this is the AI Swarmbot Locust system. Let's listen for a brief moment. they carry out up to 4 missions. Okay, so there's the vehicles going about, and then they travel on to their next mission. So the military draws fire, and they can't hit the drones, and then the drones eliminate the enemy target as you see them swarming about right there. And then once they perform their first mission, they carry on to their second, carrying out up to 4 missions. Look here, okay, because Robo Ravens, all right, this is unbelievable. This goes back some ways now to April 30th of 2013. Now think again, because even that AI locust swarmbot system goes back roughly 10 years. How far has this technology come? Let's watch and listen.
Accomplishing this in robotic bird has been very difficult because this makes them too heavy to fly.
With Robo Raven, we can digitally control each wing independently. Now, Robo Raven can generate any desired aerodynamic force for aerobatics, just like real birds.
Now that we have complete control over each wing, I can program the wings to do almost anything that a real bird can do in a matter of minutes. I mean, we've gotten it to do dives, even backflips. We've only just begun to see what this thing can really do.
Acrobatic maneuvers require an extremely lightweight platform. So we designed geometrically intricate 3D printed parts using lightweight materials.
In Bio-inspired design, we purposely take ideas from nature, but we never expected to reach a level of realism where other birds actually start following our bird, and we even got attacked by a hawk, which was pretty awesome.
This is just the beginning. Possibilities are virtually endless.
So these were so realistic that it actually got attacked by an actual hawk or eagle. Unbelievable, okay? This goes back again to 2013, so we know that this has advanced to a level that is beyond our comprehension. Even in the video I did right here, Police State, NWO The Last Reich, despite some of the software was recorded while I was showing the Hawk drone surveillance technology, it did this incredible barrel roll through the sky. And we could see right here that it's actually hollow. That's how they keep them at 2 pounds. Alright, so right here, this was the Robo Raven that was actually attacked by another bird because it was so lifelike all the way back in April 30th of 2013. Okay, so nine and a half years ago. That's crazy. All right, so let's take a look here. Softening up the battlefield, because a lot of people are recording with EMF, RF, and EF detectors and wondering what's going on. Somebody even said, oh my gosh, they activated satellite weapons. Well, I've been documenting this stuff since 2019. No, what they've done is they are using frequency weapons to soften up the battlefield. What does it mean to soften up the battlefield? To weaken an enemy through military attacks. They used artillery to soften up the enemy's defenses before launching the full-scale attack. Well, we, the people, the citizens of the world, are the enemies of the New World Order. We are the enemy. That's why they use silent weapons for a silent war, such as this right here. Now, I hope you guys can see this well enough. I slowed it down to 0.75%, but this isn't hardly even enhanced. This is just to bring out these frequency weapons. These are being pulsed on everybody. That's why you feel like crap. That's why you can't sleep. That's why you wake up a lot in the middle of the night. That's why you have muscle spasms. That's why it feels like your arm jolts. That's why you have restless legs. That's why you get pulled out of delta stage and go into theta stage in your sleep cycle. And then you feel wiped out and tired the next day because they want to weaken your immune system, make you tired, defeated, and straight up soften the battlefield, because when they come for you, they aren't looking for a fight. This is a consent-based system. They can't just come and put you in chains and kill you, even though they have the authority and the power to do so. They're not psychopaths. That'd be pure psychopathy. They're dark magicians. They want you to grant your consent. So when we withdraw from this powerful trance resonance spell and we don't partake in this system, we then have pure blood. We are not the sacrificial sacrifice to take part in their spell. Our blood is not tainted with the illusion, with the parasite. Now look here, just from the 4th of April 2022, I get hit with a 4793 peak again. Let's listen real briefly. 4th of April 2022. This is Eric. Today you can see I just got hit. Look at it, even 31.5 is high, 25 is high, 26, 24, 28, okay, that's pulse radiation. This is a weapon. They're using weaponized frequency technology. 4,793 milliwatts. The card that comes with the meter, okay, maxes out at 100 milliwatts. 100 milliwatts is the max on the card that comes with the meter. This is 48 times the max on the card that comes with the meter. Okay, look at 10 milliwatts. 10.96 is considered high. This is 4,793 milliwatts. Anybody wants to talk about high readings? Let's take a look at this, because when people are doing measurements for 5G, they're usually checking the EMFs. No, EMFs are a specific type of radiation weapon, and it's also an electromagnetic field, not a directed energy weapon. A directed energy weapons are radio frequencies 60 gigahertz, military grade technology. The max on the card that comes with the meter, 100 milliwatts. Avoid long time stay in that area. Well, it was at 4,793 milliwatts. I've likely been hit 20 times now with that exact number. Maybe they can't generate that much power any more than that from an unmanned aerial vehicle or a drone. My 4 gig router actually only broadcasts about 750 milliwatts when I'm absolutely touching it with the meter. So we are at 48 times the max. That's what I mean by softening up the battlefield. Again, is this mosquito drone technology, or even just the billions of genetically engineered mosquitoes that are being released in the U.S., all across the U.S., that is actually working with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The Zika virus doesn't exist in California or anywhere else in the continental U.S. Regardless, because it is in conjunction with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and its Mosquito Week as well, it's time for the World Economic Reset by Klaus Schwab, who reminds me of the Emperor from Star Wars. This isn't one of the creepiest videos you've ever seen, put out by one of the world elite, somebody like Bill Gates. Then I don't know what else to tell you, okay? Even though they say that these genetically modified mosquitoes don't bite, well, I find that hard to believe. Even here on the 21st of March, I said mosquito drone. Creepy and straight up gross. I wonder if the 2 billion genetically modified mosquitoes are actually either syringes or drones for surveillance. Maybe even both. Time will tell. This was done on the 21st of March, so this isn't something that I picked up from somebody. I was actually pondering on this weeks ago, guys. Alright, on that, I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Please subscribe to the Ancient of Days on YouTube, as well as BitChute, as well as my backup channel. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. You have a wonderful day. Take care and God bless. Peace.